Okay, so this is going to be a breakdown of two Val students. Michelle's on the right, Diana's on the left. Both are still white belts, but they've been training for a little while, and I thought it'd be interesting to do a breakdown. So let's see what we got here. Okay, changing levels. Okay, Michelle seems to be wanting to pass here. I really like that. Just real quick, I know we haven't even started yet, but I do like that Diana is not conceding to her back right off the bat. A lot of people at this stage in their game, they will kind of fall to their back and think of guard as a bit of a defensive position. But it certainly is not. It's actually an offensive position. So um, I do like that right off the bat. As far as Michelle is concerned, I do like that she's beginning to control the feet and start to move the feet around or the legs. So this is good. Diana going for the posture, which is really good. Calm. Okay, now she's on her back. Okay, so Michelle did a very good job of going around the legs, and Diana's bringing her knees in, which is correct. Michelle's starting to put some pressure in. Okay, so now we're in butterfly. So I can already tell right here, um, Michelle is she's actually really good at pressure passing. The issue here is that uh, if you you have to be very careful with your balance. I can tell right now that she's top heavy. I can tell because her back foot there is actually off the ground. Now this isn't so wouldn't be so bad, but Diana has two looks appears to have two hooks in, and this could end up being a sweep just because Michelle is off the ground. Now I know there's you know float passing and all that, but at this stage you have to be really careful with your balance. So let's see what happens. Bang. Okay, so yeah, so she went over from the butterfly sweep. It'll be interesting to see what happens next to see if Diana gets on top or if Michelle scrambles and is able to get back on top. Um, but again, all of this happened because Diana did a really good job of keeping her hooks and doing what she's supposed to do with the guard, which is get a sweep. And the butterfly hooks did that. So a bit of a scramble. So see whose hips are going to get higher. Okay, so Michelle got her hips higher. Good scramble. She's going for a knee slice, but Diana has a hook in. Good game. Okay, so Michelle or Diana sits back up. That was a good exchange. So reset. Okay, they're gonna go again. Okay, I'd like that Michelle is kind of going in and out, doing some hand fight. Boom, that was good. I like Diana is going. So Diana is doing a good job of trying to get the posture down, Michelle's posture down, and Michelle's actually doing a pretty good job of kind of going in and out and trying to find an angle. So now it looks like they've connected, and Michelle's she looks like she was going for somewhat of a knee ride, but now she's off the opposite side. So um, she could fall into a leg lock here. I don't know. She might, but she's certainly off in the to the right side. So this is not going to be a knee slicing position. So and she does. She falls back to a leg lock. Um, the issue with the leg lock, falling back to a leg lock like that, is that she didn't quite have control of the position um, before she fell. It's absolutely critical that if when you're going for leg locks, especially from the top position, that you have connection. Say like an ankle lock grip, because heel hook grips typically won't are not a they're more the finishing move. They're not going to control a person's leg from from them turning and all that. So she needs to create an attachment, which would be an ankle lock grip. Now she may certainly have that ankle lock grip here, and she did a pretty good job of falling back and going for the reap, which her left leg is trying to cross over Diana's right leg, and enter into sambo knot or honey hole type position or ashigarami position, some sort of leg entanglement. And right off the bat, Diana's up and kind of blocking that foot from reaping over her leg. So that's smart. She knows that she can't let that leg go over, and Michelle's trying to get the leg over. So, okay, so the leg is stuffed, and now this is good. Diana recognizes this, and she switches her hips and goes for the pass. So it looks like Michelle's about to get her guard passed here. Now, one thing I really, really like is that Diana has her arm, this arm right here, it's blocking Michelle's hip. So this is, if she keeps her arm there, if Diana keeps her arm there, she will stop Michelle's shrimping. Because, Michelle wants to, pull this knee in and, bring her knees to her chest and, create a bit of a diamond. And so, but if, again, if Diane keeps her arm here, then it's going to block that shrimp. But we'll see what happens. Let's see. So, yep, she kept her arm there. She's successfully passed. So she is now in side control. She had a good cross face. Now she's going a little bit north-south or quarter side. Now she's back to side control. Her arm is now on the other side. Diana's arm's now on the other side. And she effectively has side control. Okay. So I do like Michelle staying really tight here. She's keeping her arms T-rexed. Her right knee is trying to connect to her elbow to create some connection between her upper body and lower body. So this is a good strategy. So that's not bad. She's staying tight. I would like to see a little more hip movement, and maybe it's a running man or these type of positions. But of course, you get back exposure and all that, so that may not be such a good idea at this particular point. But Diana is doing a good job, just staying side control. Going for the cross face now. I was about to say that, so that's good. So this is good. Diana has a very strong position. She switches back. So I suspect on the other side what's going on is she's trying to isolate the arm for a Kimura. If Michelle doesn't have her arm in, she's going to be careful. Yep. Just fighting to get that. So, yep, so Diana's really trying to isolate that outside arm, which is smart. Okay, so now Michelle looks like she's going more into a running man or a hawking position here, and this is good. Okay, now she's trying to go to turtle, which is better. Okay, so that was good. So that was actually really good. I'd much rather her be here than actually flat. Even though there's back exposure, she's made it to turtle, and certainly in turtle she can begin to fight back for the inside position. Diana did a really good job of keeping on the inside between the armpit and the leg. So as long as Diane keeps something in this space here, she'll stay attached to Michelle's back, and it's going to be hard for Michelle to actually move around and escape. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so Diana stepping over, just looking for some hooks. She pulls her back. Okay, so Michelle's actually standing really, really heavy forward, so this is good. Not allowing the hooks to come in. Uh-oh, so now she's getting pried open, so now the hooks that top leg may slide in. And it's almost in. But the other side might be in now. So her left leg might be in. Nope, it's not yet. Oh, there it is. Yep. So the left hook is in. She has a seatbelt position. She's trying to pull her down, Michelle down. Michelle can't stay here with those hooks. She's going to get flattened out. Uh-oh, now she's in a body triangle. So this is absolutely terrible. So you have to, Michelle, at this point, is probably going to be done, but she should at least try to get to her side. She can't stay here. This is not good. There's not much defense she can put up here. It's like Diane's doing a good job of the backpack. So that's a tap. So I really like how tight Diana is here. and her body lock is really good. So that was good. So that whole thing happened because Diana acquired inside position. So she got a seatbelt, she got 2 hooks, and it's, rear naked choke. Good stuff. Okay. So now Michelle's standing up, going for a pass. I like that Diana is again in guard, but in a forward like combat base, fighting the hands. Okay, now she's going to a seated guard. She's going to attack. Michelle is going to pass. She's stepping. Okay, so she steps around. She doesn't beat the knee line. Diana brought her knee in, so she can't quite get the pass here. Oh, good. So I do like this. So Michelle did a really good job with her arm there, stuffing Diana's leg. This is actually really interesting because I don't know how this is going to pan out, but she actually might get a pass from this. But I really do like that Michelle's hands here and pushing Diana's leg down. She has contact with the floor. This is okay. I'm not too concerned about that yet. Her head position's really good. And her arm is probably posted on this side somewhere. So this is all pretty good. I like this. Diana's doing a really good job, which is exactly probably what I would be doing, which is controlling that hand controlling her arm, Michelle's arm. So if she can free this hand off of here, her knee's just going to come right back, and they're going to be right back to square one. So let's see what happens. Okay. Yep. So kind of it was pretty quick, but that's what happened. Michelle did a really good job pushing the knee, trying to pass. She almost made it. Diana did a really good job of countering by grabbing the wrist, pushing it out of the way, bringing her knee back, and now she's in a butterfly position. So again, right here, way overcommitted. So Michelle overcommitted with her pressure, and it doesn't have balance. So I can tell because both her feet are off the ground, because I can tell, I know that both her feet are off the ground because of how in alignment she is. This is, and I can guarantee on the other side her other foot's off the ground there. So just because of what a straight line this is. She's not leaning, in other words. So this is not good. And it's not good because, Diana's doing a good job with these hooks. She has those hooks, and I suspect, from what I can tell right now, that this will possibly be a sweep. Bink. Okay, so it got swept over. So we'll see now who gets on top. I would say that Diana, when she gets these butterfly sweeps, she needs to stay a little more connected, less of a kick, and more connection, especially with her upper body and with her sticky hooks. So that way, when she sweeps and Michelle falls over, that she actually stays connected and she just pops up on top. Michelle falling down brings her on top. So this actually helps. But as soon as that disconnect happens, because there's a big disconnect here from here to here. This is a big disconnect. Okay, so then she needs to be like really tight right here, like her chest to be like they should be touching chest here. Okay, and since they're not touching chest, it was more of and her legs are really straight here. I'd like to see more her knees bent, which would mean that her hip would be actually right here, and there'd be a lot of connection. So it's still good though. It's not bad, but it'll create less of a scramble. So let's see what happens. Pretty good. And she's on top. Good. So she made it to top. Okay, so Michelle's doing good here. She's trying to get her right knee in front. She really needs to get that bottom leg in front, though. Okay, so see what happened there? Because the top knee came in first, and the back leg was kind of left behind. then she missed it. And again, Diana does a really good job with her right arm blocking that hip. This is really good because it's just smart to do against other jiu-jitsu people because they always want to shrimp. If you can place your arm right there, block the hip, there is no more shrimping. So then Michelle has to come up with a different plan. She has to orientate her hands in different positions to try to escape. She has to go to running escapes. There's all kinds of other options she has other than shrimping. But this arm right here will stop any kind of shrimping. So I would suggest that when Michelle sees that this is here, that she shouldn't be shrimping anymore, and this knee being up that tight may not be such a good thing. She may want to have her feet planted so that she can create more bridging to get more space. But I understand why she's doing this because she doesn't want Diana to go over to the mount. If she goes over to the mount, then then she has to fight from the mount position. So that's not such a fun place to be. But pretty good. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now she got her bottom leg in. And Diana looked like she was trying to go cross sides, but now she's in butterfly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. If Diana overcommits herself, she could possibly get swept. And it looks like she is because I can see that her arm, right out the bat, and this isn't bad, but it's real heavy on that hand. There's no foot on the ground here, and this just could be, but it's only going to get worse if Michelle keeps her feet here and she keeps pressing them up to the ceiling. The more she presses this up to the ceiling, the higher that Diana's feet are going to go up, and then she's going to get flopped over one direction or the other, this way or that way. So. Or maybe not. Maybe she drops her hips back and she doesn't get swept. So we'll see. Good. So you get swept. Good. This is good. So she's staying top heavy. Good balance. So now she's good. She has that pressure in. Oh, so that's not good. Oh, so there was an overcommitment. Let's see that again. So she did really good right here. If Diana would have maintained this position with her upper body and just started switching her hips left to right, like dropping her hips left to right, she would have started possibly killing those hooks and also windshield wipering her legs over top of Michelle's shins. So Diana's shins windshield wipering over Michelle's shins, Michelle's shins. Then she could start producing a pass while keeping this top heavy position, this connection with her chest. As soon as she presses in or Michelle elevates her with her hooks and she gets overcommitted, she's going to flop over, and that's certainly what happened. So, but it's okay. Like that there, boom. I suspect Diana was probably trying to jump over a little bit, and that's all right. There's a scramble. The scramble happens because there was a disconnect in the sweep. Again, whenever there's a disconnect, it ends up in a scramble, which is fine because they're back in the same position. Good, I like that. So Michelle pops in. She's going to a knee ride, and she's got a good knee ride so far. Yep, so the knee comes in. Okay, so yeah, yep. So right off the bat, I can tell you that Michelle would have a lot more success with this pass right here. If you can tell, let me see if I can get a good shot of her pass. This could have been a pass right here. Okay, so right here, Michelle is actually effectively passed. The one thing that's stopping her from completely passing is this hand. So we know that Diana wants to bring both her knees in, so that's a given. As long as Michelle leaves this hand posting out here somewhere, or maybe it's grabbing Diana around here somewhere, the more likely it is that Diana's going to pull her legs in. The one good thing I say about this position is that her hand here is grabbing this hand and it's pulling. It looks like it appears that it's pulling it up, effectively keeping Diane's shoulder up off the ground, which is good because that impedes the shrimp. However, if Michelle were just to take her hand and do the same thing that Diana is doing, and to place her arm straight down here, take this hand, bring it over here, and then put it to block her hip, and put it right, slide it right in front of this leg, and just put her fist to the floor right there, then she would effectively pass. And it seems weird. It would also distribute her weight. Her hips would shift down, and it would distribute her top weight, both of her hip and her chest weight, straight down at an angle in this direction. And then it would stop this Diane shrimp. So the knee ride's good. It's just that once Michelle made it here, her hand didn't retract and come back here to stop the shrimp. So let's watch it again. Now that we know that, let's see what happens with that hand. See how the hand's grabbing the head, her forearm. Now it kind of comes in to kill the leg, but it's still over top. She's still hugging her. So notice that hand, Michelle's hand over here never crossed over here to stop that shrimp. Michelle is effectively trying to hug Diane over here. Okay, it's not bad, but when you try to hug your opponent and you don't address the knees and the hooks, somebody that's good at butterfly or hooks, they can off balance you pretty quick. So especially in the somewhat beginning stage here, you have to be very careful with your balance. But that's okay because she's still doing a good job of pressuring in and trying to work the pass. But that was a good pass. Okay, she went to the other side, so this is good. Bit of a Kesa. So this isn't so bad. Michelle has to be very careful again of being overcommitted. Michelle hasn't completely passed here, but I see her strategy. Hold on to the head. I can't see what's happening on the other side. I'm hoping that her left arm, Michelle's left arm, is pulling up on Diane's right arm, keeping her shoulder up off the ground. If she's doing that, then it's going to be very difficult for Diana to get out, and it will, really force her into like a more of a Kesa or Scarfold type of position. So, but let's see what happens. Michelle just has to be very careful she doesn't get overcommitted here. Okay, so now there's too much space. As soon as Michelle went knees down, because her knees are facing down now, there's all this space right here. So now, Diana's hooks, this hook right here is going to be extremely effective. And, Diana doesn't mind so much this connection now. This actually helps her with the connection. So let's see how this plays out. There's a hook, so Diana got her left hook in. Now there's space. Michelle's doing good at keeping to the side. She's going back around, but Diana has two hooks. Yep, can't pass with the hooks there. That's okay, it's good. So she keeps the hooks. Oh, a little swizzer sweep. So that was funny. So at the last second, there was a bit of a sweep there. So let's see that. So she goes into a little basic scissor sweep, and that just happened because Michelle was the round's ending, but she was a little off balance. Her knee is very it's inside, so that's not so good. It's not a good wide base. So boom, goes over, and that's okay. There we go. So that was good. So good stuff. So I thought this was going to be an interesting breakdown, just because it's they're both very skilled. They're still in that I guess still a white belt technically, but there's some obvious things that can be improved on, and as far as like passing and connection and all that, some just kind of basic principles and concepts. So, anyways, that was it. That was a good roll.